guys from the Peacock Homestead. I just wanted to pop in and say hi and let you guys know that this is week 8, the last week of the Three Rivers Challenge, and we made it. We did good. We had some ups and downs along the way. We used a whole bunch of our stuff in our larder. I have a whole bunch of jars that I wanted to show you real quick. It's literally covering my whole table in the dining room. So I want to show you that, and I want to talk about the future content that I have coming up. So I'm going to be doing some thrift hauls, some grocery hauls, and of course some cooking and preserving. I'll be doing the Every Bit Counts challenge as well. So we'll be doing that. So still some fun homesteading content. And I'd like to show you how I do trim my chicken's wings so they don't fly off to the neighbor's house. So I'll be doing a video on that too. So I'm going to be making some really fun content for you guys. And let me see, I'm going to look at my notes. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, so we took an inventory of everything that we needed to do. We need to do more potatoes and collard greens and stuff like that. And I'd like to can more chicken. I really missed my canned chicken. So I wanted to show you my ugly chicken pizza that I make, but that's okay. I will be doing that in the future for you guys. So just wanted to pop in and say hi and just talk about those few things with you guys. And I hope you enjoy this week's video. These are all the jars that I had used up in the months of January and February during the pantry challenge. I thought that was quite a bit, so I just wanted to show you guys. And now I have to store them away for when I need them. I hopefully can fill them up soon. So for this week, I am starting off with making some dirty rice. I got some hamburger browning here. And then I'm going to be making some white rice. I just have regular rice here. About 2 cups there going, and just with water. I wanted to make it so I could taste the meat and the spices and everything. So I just use water. I'm going to be mixing this all up together, and then I'm just going to be serving it in a bowl. And it is so cold out. Oh my goodness, this is the coldest it's been in years. Okay, so I am sauteing some onions in there, and I'm going to make them so they're a little bit translucent. Get them all cooked up and mixed with the hamburger. And the only thing that I'm going to be adding in this is some chicken bouillon, salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder, and some of this frozen corn that I had in my freezer. And then it's basically done. I'm just going to add it to the rice and then just serve it up as is. It was actually my husband's request, and I did not want to make it, but it turned out pretty good, so I did enjoy it. So kudos to the hubs for this idea for this night's dinner. I truly did enjoy this challenge, and honestly, this is how we live all the time. We live off of our larder and off our storage all year long. This is the first time I've ever water glassed eggs this year, and it actually helped us out so much because the price of eggs have gone up so much, and having chickens is a blessing. We learned a lot, and we gleaned a whole bunch from all the other families that are doing this challenge, and it was a blessing in disguise. So this was a turkey that I had in the bottom of my freezer. It was 19 pounds. And it took 5.5 hours to cook. It was humongous. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to add some olive oil, and then I'm going to put herbs de Provence right on the top. And that's just Italian seasoning mixed with a little bit of lavender flowers that I make myself. And I roasted this beast for 5.5 hours at 325, and it had a little cheater button, but that's okay. It turned out so juicy. It was awesome. And then with the turkey, I am cooking some asparagus and mashed potatoes, and with all the juices from the turkey, I'm going to be making some gravy. And this is how my roast beef turned out. And my asparagus, I just put salt, pepper, butter, and a little bit of garlic. And then I whisked that up with some flour, the gravy there. And mashed potatoes, I just have milk and butter, salt, and pepper. And it was really delicious. We ate leftovers from this turkey for quite a few nights, and the dogs got some blessings as well. So that's what dinner looked like on that night. And I love having leftovers. And with this carcass, I will probably be making some turkey bone broth. And my Jackie cannot wait for the turkey, my little muffin. He was busy playing. This is how he plays with his ball on his back. And he tries to make Blessing jealous by hogging the ball, of course. He's a little stinker bug. But they're besties. They love each other even though they drive each other crazy. I am so excited to show you guys this recipe. It turned out amazing. It's going to be on my blog. It is my homemade Oreo cookies. I have some shortening here we're going to be making the frosting with. Cacao powder. I have 1 egg, blackstrap molasses, some sugar, and then I have some baking powder, baking soda. I have my homemade vanilla extract. I use brandy for that. And then I have some milk, a mixing bowl, a whisk, my little measuring spoons, and some measuring cups here. Now for the ingredients, you are going to add 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And then for the cacao powder, you are going to need 1/2 cup of that. You can also use the darker cacao powder, but this is what I had on hand, so that's what I'm using. And you can make amazing hot cocoa with this. It is so delicious. For the baking soda, you need 1 teaspoon, and for the baking powder, you need 1/2 teaspoon of that. And then you are going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then you're going to need 1 stick of butter, and I softened that up right in the microwave to make it easier to mix. Plus it's better if it's softened. And for the sugar, you're going to need 3/4 cups of regular white granulated or organic sugar, and then 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So I just added all of my sugar together, and then I added a tablespoon of molasses to the mix. And that's just how I get my brown sugar incorporated into pretty much everything that needs brown sugar. And then when I'm feeling ambitious, I'll make a batch of brown sugar, but I wasn't feeling ambitious. I just wanted to get this all ready so we can have like a nice little snack. And then for the vanilla extract, you need 1 teaspoon. And then I make that with brandy. And for my vanilla beans, I just use Madagascar vanilla beans. We're going to get an egg in there. And for the last ingredient, I am going to get 2 tablespoons of milk. You can use oat milk or almond milk. And if you don't have any milk, you can just use regular water. You can also substitute the butter with coconut oil, or you can use tallow. If you're going to use coconut oil, I would use the coconut oil that is solidified, not the liquid kind, because it makes a better cookie that way. We're going to get this all incorporated, and then we're going to make little balls. And we're going to want to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And these are going to bake around 7 to 10 minutes. Since I'm using my silicone mat, these took 10 minutes to bake. And I would say if you are going to be measuring it out, it's about a tablespoon per little ball. For the filling, you are going to need 1/4 cup of butter, a 1/4 cup of shortening, 1½ cups of powdered sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. These are how the cookies turned out. They're nice and flat, that's how you want them. And then I'm just putting in a tablespoon of the filling in each one. And look at how amazing these turned out. They're so ooey gooey. I'm actually gonna try one right now with a glass of milk. And look at that. Isn't that better than the store-bought? I think so. My husband did suggest me to go buy some Oreo cookies, and I told him, no way. We are not doing that. Plus, I don't know what kind of ingredients are in there. I know there's questionable ingredients, and we are making these from scratch. On this day, I am just making a leftover turkey sandwich for dinner. I'm gonna have some cheddar cheese in it, an onion, some mayonnaise, and I took this loaf of sourdough out of the freezer, and it was still kind of frozen, but it was delicious. I didn't even toast it or anything. It was super soft. So I'm just gonna assemble my little sandwich, and then I'm gonna have this with some chips. This is actually one of my favorite go-to sandwiches. When I used to buy lunch meat at the store, but this is way better. Just taking some turkey off of my already roasted turkey that I roasted in the oven. This makes it so delicious. And I want to show you guys all the snow we got. We got about probably a little over 2 feet of snow. This doesn't do it any justice. So when I'm in the backyard, this is my front or the side of my house, and the snow goes up to my hips. And then on this day, I was making some regular bagels. This is our go-to bagels, and I have the recipe on my blog. And then I have some sourdough going. I do this once a week. I have 2 loaves. I'm actually using a Banneton basket and then like a little strainer, plastic strainer. And of course, I got my helpers with me all the time. But the reason why the bagels turned out so shiny is because I'm boiling them in water, and then I use a teaspoon of baking soda and then a teaspoon of honey, and they turn out so shiny. This is how they turn out, and I love making them plain because I like to have jelly on mine. And then sometimes I'll have cream cheese and cowboy candy, and it is delish. And then I am making and stocking up on my universal bread dough, and that makes all my pizza doughs. It makes bread and buns when I'm in a hurry. And then on this day as well, I'm making cinnamon rolls, and I got this recipe from Jessica over at the Three Rivers Homestead. It is a sourdough recipe, and I'm getting it all mixed up, and I'm gonna let it rest for an hour. And then we're gonna get these beauties rolled out, and I decided that I am gonna be just putting some cinnamon, sugar, and butter. That's what's in here. And then I'm gonna be adding some blueberries to it, and I thought it was so amazing. It turned out really good. So we're gonna roll these puppies out, and we are gonna get them resting for about 10 to 15 minutes. You can bake them right away because they have baking soda and baking powder in them. But these turned out so delicious. They're sourdough cinnamon rolls, but you can cook them right away. I just opted to let the dough rest for an hour because I thought that would do some extra magic. But I can't wait to show you what this looks like. And I actually have approval from the hubs. He loves these too. And he was questioning the blueberries in it, but I was telling him that there's such thing as blueberry coffee cake, and blueberries and cinnamon go together. You just have to trust me. These are super delicious and fun to make, and you can actually store these in the freezer for 3 months. You can opt to cook them off and store them, or you can put them in your freezer in a little pan raw. So it is awesome to have stuff like this on hand. You just pull it out, bake it, and you have a wonderful breakfast or snack or dessert for any time. This is what they look like all baked. I baked these on 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. My oven doesn't run that hot, so I have baked them for a little bit longer than the directions say. And I didn't want to waste any of that cinnamon and butter and sugar, so I just added a little bit of powdered sugar, and I'm using all that extra goodness that I had for the filling. And I'm just gonna kind of spread it on top, and then we can enjoy these. And then I'm probably gonna store them in the freezer because there's no way that we could eat all of these in a week's time. Then I won't have to work so hard. I can just pop them out and thaw them and then enjoy them on another day. This is how my sourdough loaves turned out. I do like a little leaf score on the side, and then it has my little shark fin. And then I have my recipes for my bagels and my bread on my blog, thepeacockhomestead.com. And on this night, I decided that I was going to make my universal bread recipe, and that is on my blog as well. I'm stocking up on pizza dough here. You can use these to make hamburger buns, hot dog rolls, and bread. I only let it rise once, so you can pop it out of the freezer and let it rise for the second time. And you can make anything that you need, your bread, your buns, or anything. But I decided that I was gonna just make some pizza dough with it, and it turned out so amazing. So now I have 3 pizza doughs that is ready to go. And on that night, I just wanted to have a quick dinner, so we are going to be making pizza. So I got my pizza pan all greased up with my beef towel that I rendered. And then I have my pizza dough that I just made. And I have some pickled items here, banana peppers, some jalapeno peppers. Then I have some pepperoni, say that 3 times fast. And I have block of mozzarella. And then this pasta sauce that's been sitting in my pantry for a while. So I want to get that used up. And I'm going to get the dough shaped. And we're going to get going on making this pizza. And I have a little secret. I used to work at a pizzeria. And I just wanted to show you my pizza dough throwing skills real quick. Try not to laugh. We're gonna get our pizza sauce all on there. Or in this case, my spaghetti sauce, but it's just as amazing. My husband actually prefers this, but he doesn't know we're gonna be using the pizza sauce that I canned up soon. So I'm getting my cheese shredded on top. I got my mozzarella cheese. Then I'm gonna add my toppings, and then we're gonna get this in the oven. I preheated my oven at 425, and I baked this for 13 to 15 minutes. And since it was such fresh dough, it turned out so fluffy. It looked like a pizza pillow. It was so wonderful. I'm just gonna add my pickled peppers on top. We've been enjoying that for our topping. And then I have a little bit of mozzarella just to top it off. And it's almost ready to go in the oven, and I am starving. And look at that, it is delish. And I hope I inspired you guys today. And I would love it if you would give me a subscribe and hit the like button. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Many blessings, and I will see you on the next one, my friends. Many blessings.